What is up, guys? Welcome back to my first gameplay of Modern Warfare. So this is gameplay of the 2v2 alpha, which I ended up liking a lot. So at first I didn't like this alpha that much because we just had gunfight, but then they added gunfight OSP and that changed everything. The first gunfight we got, I don't like it. Everyone starts with a class, right? Same gun, same primary, same secondary, one lethal, one tactical. And what happens in that game mode is that because people are all set, right? They don't have to get a gun. They already spawn with the gun, two guns. They don't move. They stay at the spawn. They head glitch. They don't want to move, right? But in gunfight OSP, you spawn with nothing. It's just you and your fists, and you have to move out of the spawn to pick up better guns. Like where you spawn, you have two pistols. One of them is very good, the Deagle or whatever it is, the hand cannon. It's a goddamn sniper rifle, but it's not as good as an SMG, right? So if you want something better, you gotta move out of the spawn just a little bit to pick up more things, and that made people move a little bit more. I cannot take the camping in gunfight. I mean, there's already camping in gunfight OSP, but in normal gunfight, oh my god. So the graphics are juicy as hell, and this is just the alpha. It's not the full game, the finished product, right? The sound was good, the gameplay was juicy as hell, the movement is good. It's different, but it feels like Call of Duty. That's the only way to explain it. And I mean, the guns are nice. Some of them have a lot of recoil. That's also another reason why I stopped playing gunfight, because I was getting some weird ass guns that I just could not use even if my life depended on it, which it did in those games. So the first problem I want to talk about is the no minimap. So not having a minimap in such small maps is not a big deal, but people were already camping like crazy in these small maps. Imagine how it's gonna be when we get big ass maps, because the maps are gonna be big as hell. I mean, picture Call of Duty Ghost maps, right? They're gonna be big. Modern Warfare 2 maps, they're gonna be that freaking big. And many times, you know, I was rushing and I was getting shot, and because we have no minimap, I didn't know where I was getting shot from, and it really pissed me off because people were just head glitching and it's impossible to see them, and it was really annoying until I started pressing start. And when people shoot their guns, when my teammates were dying, I would immediately press start so that I could see those cheeky red dots, and that made gunfight much better. At first I was not doing that, I was just relying on sound, and it wasn't good. So not having a minimap hurts the gameplay a little bit because people don't move and they feel safe because they don't appear on the radar. And then we have the footsteps. Oh my god, the footsteps are too loud. I mean, it's like we're running around with metal shoes. I mean, you sound like a horse stomping around. You can hear people, like when you start sprinting, you can hear people across the map. So because footsteps are so loud, even your footsteps, like you hear your footsteps loud as crazy. Because footsteps are so loud, it makes people camp. People don't want to rush. People don't want to move unless it's a 2v1 situation. Then the two guys versus one, obviously they're gonna swarm the poor guy. But if it's like a 2v1, if you're the only guy alive, you're not gonna move. You're just gonna listen. You're just gonna sound whore, right? Trying to pick up the sound of the footsteps. I think they're way too loud, and they should tone them down just a little bit. Then we have another problemo. The materials are weak as hell. I don't know which type of materials but Infinity Ward used to build these maps, but they gotta be made in China. All right, get some better materials, because some covers were like, it's like they were made of paper, right? I was getting shot like there was nothing between me and the enemy, and I was taking cover behind cars, behind walls, right? And I was just getting destroyed, unless the guns that we used in gunfights have like deep impact or whatever by default, bullet penetration. Like, they gotta do something about the materials. I had cold sweats, I had flashbacks of Black Ops 2 where every single wall was made of paper. And then we have the mouse and keyboard versus controller problem. So yeah, you could use a keyboard and mouse versus controllers on the PlayStation 4. So the alpha was just available for the PlayStation 4, and I played with my mouse and keyboard against people using controllers. It shouldn't be that way. I guess they made it that way because I guess they allowed it because because the alpha was not available for PC, so obviously you would be alone. I think there were not enough players using keyboard and mouse, but at least for the alpha we could use it against controllers. Obviously people who are used to the mouse and keyboard are going to destroy people using controllers. I was like, oh my god, let me get my mouse and keyboard, I'm gonna destroy some little Jimmies. No, I mean, when you use the controller for so long, you just used to using these two fingers, right? These two, right? This is all you move, right? But when you use, I mean, keyboard and mouse, you gotta use a bunch of fingers, and I didn't know what to do. I mean, I looked like a little Jimmy. I was like, oh my god, where are the buttons? What do I do? No, keyboard and mouse is not for me. I'm a controller guy. I don't care if I'm gonna be playing against keyboard and mouse guys. But yeah, at least for the alpha, that happened. Keyboard versus controller happened. I did it, but I sucked, so I got destroyed and I went back to the controller. But if this happens when the game is out, controllers versus mouse and keyboards, I mean, oh my god, it's gonna be nuts. And then we have the camping. The camping is definitely a problemo, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, the footsteps are way too loud. People don't want to freaking move because they don't want enemies to hear their footsteps. There's no minimap, so yeah, it helps campers. And I mean, that's why I stopped playing gunfight, as I said, the normal gunfight, because people are already set up. They have no reason to move out of the spawn, out of their head glitch, right? They find a head glitch as soon as the game starts and they stay there the whole freaking game. So there's a lot of camping in this game mode, and I think a minimap would stop that because we would be able to see those juicy red dots. I can still see them, right, by pressing start, but it takes me out of the game for a second and that might get me killed. Then we have another problem in this game mode, the rage quits. I'm not gonna lie, I rage quit like a motherfucker when I was playing normal gunfight because I couldn't take the camping, I couldn't take the head glitch. As soon as I started playing gunfight OSP, I still rage quit once in a while, but not as much as before. There needs to be a penalty because people were being left alone versus two guys until the end of the game, and that's not fair. And then we have another problem. The sound when you are hurt is way too loud. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. When your character gets shot, like he's like, and it's so loud, you cannot hear yourself. You cannot hear your footsteps. You cannot hear any footsteps at all. You cannot hear your gun shooting. You cannot hear explosions. It's way too loud. I was trying to get my bearings together, right? With like 10% health, I was trying to pick up the sound of the enemy. It was a 2v1 situation. It happened many times. I was almost dead and I couldn't hear anything because it's way too loud. The only way to counter this is by picking up stim in gunfight OSP and get your health back as soon as possible. So they need to lower the volume of that when you hurt just a little bit. And then we have another problem, picking up items, picking up guns, grenades, stuff like that. It's kind of annoying because sometimes you're running and you just want to pick up something. You don't want to stop like a little Jimmy, right? And you have to hold the square button on the PlayStation 4. And sometimes you wouldn't pick up your item, and it was annoying. You should just double tap and pick up whatever you want, or you should just press one time and pick up whatever you want. They need to change that because at times it was getting really annoying. I died a couple of times going back to pick up a gun or whatever. And then we have another problem, seeing the names above the players. I like it because when I was rushing, I was jumping around over cover trying to spot those names, but sometimes it's annoying because you're like, your foot is sticking out of cover, right? The enemy cannot see you, but because I'm looking in your direction and your foot is out of cover, I can see your name popping through a wall. They need to fix that. It's good to counter campers, but sometimes it gets annoying because you're getting your health back, right? You're trying to get your health back, or you're reloading and you're behind cover and your name is sticking out cover. It's above the cover. Like, it makes no sense. They need to do something about that. And finally, I have a cheeky complaint. It's not a big deal. It's about a rocket launcher they put in gunfight called the Pila, or in Portuguese, the Pila. The reason why this is a problem is because it's offensive to me. I'm offended by this rocket launcher. First of all, they cannot have rocket launchers in gunfight. It's super annoying. I stopped playing gunfight also because of that. So in OSP, there's no rocket launchers. But Pila in Portuguese means the D. It means the D. So it's funny as hell to use a rocket launcher called the Pila. Like it's a variant of the D. So it's a funny way of saying the D or something in Portuguese. You're not Portuguese, you don't understand, but if you do, I mean, it's freaking hilarious to run around with a Pila on your hand. But that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about the Modern Warfare Alpha. I had a lot of fun playing Gunfight OSP. I love the game. It's pretty fun, or the Alpha. It's looking a lot of fun. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Click the like button if you enjoyed the video. Also leave a comment. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.